Hello on this Wednesday. Boy, have those mild temperatures and just as important, that sunshine felt really here the last couple of days. And it's remarkably quiet across the country. Not much going on here, coast to coast. A little unusual this time of year. Usually we have something going on, but we'll take it. And we've got mostly clear skies across much of Minnesota. You can see the fresh snow cover across parts of central Minnesota, or old snow rather, but that white is the snow. And just a few clouds drifting in from the northwest. And out of a few of those clouds, we could have a couple of snow showers tonight, mostly for northern Minnesota. And despite already being in the 30s, we do have a northwest breeze that's going to kind of hold those temperatures down. So we're only going to warm up a couple more degrees through the day, probably shy of 40 today, and then those winds will lighten up tonight. But hey, upper 30s still nice, and with the sunshine most of the day, that'll feel pretty good. And we've got sun tomorrow and Friday, and really pretty quiet the next several days. Still that slight chance of a snow shower or two on Friday night, but that's going to be about it. And as I mentioned, tonight, northern Minnesota, that's where we could have a few snow showers drift through. Any accumulations will be pretty minor. I don't think many of those make their way further south. And then tomorrow we're back in the upper 30s. Still some low 40s in the western part of the state, and that's going to be kind of the name of the game right through Saturday. And then we see just a slight cool down Sunday, Monday. The cold air really kind of rotating north of Hudson Bay, but we sort of get buzzed or brushed by it Sunday into Monday. So that means temperatures will be near freezing for a couple days for highs. Nothing dramatic, no big deal there. And then it retreats again a little further to the north. In fact, we've got a very mild setup for next week. Snow lovers, not seeing any big snowstorms, I'm afraid, but it's March almost and things can happen. So back into the 30s, near 40 on Friday. Saturday should be into the 40s. Colder already though in northern Minnesota. That's that edge of the cold air starting to make its way south. So probably just below freezing for many spots on Sunday. A couple of sub-zero mornings in northern Minnesota, not here though. But we will see some teens in the morning. And again, watch that cold just kind of rotate to the north. But then we get into a blocking pattern. This is the American model almost starting to create what we call an omega block, because it looks like the Greek letter omega, which would put cooler pockets on each of the coasts and a warm ridge here in the middle of the continent. That would mean above normal temperatures for us. And in fact, the American model keeps spitting out a 50 by next weekend. Kind of pushes it back a day or two here and there, but regardless, there's some milder air around. And so this is next week, and this is pure fantasy at this point because this is more than 10 days out. But it's got 50s and 60s all the way up into Iowa and southern Minnesota, including here again, potentially near 50. And so the next system for next weekend, a big one, is a rain event, maybe some snow in northern Minnesota. And in fact, starts to spit out the first severe weather of the season, dew points. Remember those? Yeah, into the 50s. All the way up into Iowa, maybe even close to 60. That's some very humid air for this time of year, but it's all the way up from the Gulf. Again, this is all hypothetical at this point. And this is convective available potential energy, CAPE we call it, which is energy for thunderstorms reaching into southeastern Minnesota. So we could even have some thunderstorms next weekend if all these scenarios play out in the American model. And it is likely to change. It's pretty far out, so just keep that in mind. But signs that spring is on the way, at least in the computer models, potentially. So again, near 40 today and into the next few days, and then we'll see that cooler air start to work its way in here just briefly Sunday, Monday, but otherwise pretty quiet.